So, who is this guy, Dan Yessian? Well, maybe you don't know his name, but maybe you know his music. Yessian's company has made its musical mark in film, TV, advertising, video gaming, and theme parks. But he always wanted to write something more substantial, music which didn't coax people to buy, but made them think, made them care. His chance came after attending a concert at St. John Armenian Church in suburban Detroit.
The priest said, Dan, why don't you consider doing something in commemoration of the Armenian Genocide? In 2015, it would have been the 100th anniversary. So I said, well, that's interesting. I had never thought of doing something like that coming from the discipline of writing jingles. I wrestled with the idea of wanting to do this, but being fearful of the fact that maybe it wasn't going to be good. This is the first thing that I've done that's serious. I've never done this before. And if somebody says, nah, I don't really like that, it's really a rejection of yourself. But I finally got down to it, and I sat down at the piano and started working things out. I'm sitting here at what was Burt Bacharach's piano. It's a baby grand, and it's the M series. It still plays very, very beautifully.
Well, he practically lived with his piano and worked on it day in and day out. Whenever he had a minute, that's what he was doing.
He leaned on his wife, Kathy. They've been married 44 years.
And calm me down. What do you think of this? And that's how it went. All consuming.
1.5 million Armenians were murdered systematically in lands controlled by the Ottoman Empire. It happened primarily during World War I, but began in the late 1800s. 29 nations call it genocide. Modern-day Turkey, once the center of the Ottoman Empire, rejects that term. Whatever you call it, Armenians fled or died.
I would play something like, okay, so is it supposed to be a happy time in Armenian? But how can I make that sad? And then I go...
But in time, the profanity faded and the music emerged. In October of 2017, Dan and Kathy arrived in Armenia to see his homeland and to hear his music performed by a Philharmonic orchestra. When it ended, Dan heard his name called and walked onto the stage. He shook hands with the conductor and the concert master. And then the Jingle King turned to the audience and took a bow.